Hi guys, good day from wherever you are watching me from. On today's episode, we'll be doing a makeup starter tutorial. So firstly, I'm using a facial wipe to clean the dirty out of our face. After then, I'll be using this facial primer to prime our face. I'll set it in with my hand and let it sit for about 3 to 5 minutes. You can have a fan in front of your client to make it dry faster. And once it is dry a bit, I'll be going in with my eyebrow. Firstly, I brush out the eyebrow, then I'll be drawing a stroke line at the opposite of our brows and the down part of the brows. So I'll draw the and I will be filling it lightly in. You don't have to fill it too deep. You'll be filling it lightly. Then once I'm done, I'll brush it out to blend everything together, and the brushing will be lightly, not too deep while we are brushing, just lightly brush. And once I'm done, I'll be using this concealer palette to conceal the face. I'm using a light concealer sh- shade to prime the eyebrow. Once I'm done with the down part of the eyebrow, I'll be going ahead with the upper part of the eyebrow, which I'll be using a foundation of a matching color to prime the eyebrow. I'll be using a foundation of a matching color to prime the upper knit of our eyebrow, just to blend in with the skin and the eyebrow together. So once I'm done with the upper part of it, I'll be using the same foundation to blend the down part with our skin together. I'll be using the same foundation to blend it in together. Once I'm done with the first part of the eyebrow, I will go ahead with the second part and blend the two together. I'll do the same procedure that I did with the first one. I'll go ahead with the same procedure with this second one as well. I'm using an angle brush for this eyebrow. So once I'm done with the eyebrow, I'll be going ahead with the eyeshadow area, and I will blend the eyebrow first before going to the eyeshadow area. So once I'm done with the step, I'll use my eyeshadow primer to first set the eyeshadow area first. I'll be using a eyeshadow primer. So here I have my eyeshadow primer. I'll set it in first to make the shade of the eyeshadow we want to use to come out boldly. That's why we are first setting in the eyeshadow with the primer first. Once I'm done with that, I'll be using this black eyeshadow palette to set it in on the eyeshadow area till it come out deep. I'll set it in gently till it is deep enough for the shade to come out properly. And I'll be doing it gently till I get the shade that I want. Once I'm done with the first side, I will go ahead with the second side as well. So once I'm done, I'll be using this natural eyeshadow palette to clear the upper parts of the eyeshadow area. I'll use it to blend the upper parts and the darker part of the black eyeshadow together. And I will be using a lighter shade underneath her eyebrow, and I will blend the three colors together properly to give it a natural shade. I'll be using a lighter shade underneath her eyebrow, then I'll blend all together properly to give it a natural shade. Once I'm done, I'll be using these two foundation palettes, which are classic foundation, a lighter shade and a darker shade of classic foundation. I'm mixing the two together, and once I'm done, I'll be using the foundation brush to set it in properly. While you are using your brush, you'll be dabbing the brush, not rubbing it. You will dab it inside the skin to make the foundation sit on the skin properly. You are dabbing it in, you are not rubbing it on the skin. You'll be dabbing the foundation with the skin on the skin to get a good result. So once I'm done with this step, I'll be spraying my beauty blender, and I will be using the beauty blender to dab the foundation on the skin as well. I sprayed it with some water, just natural water, and once I'm done, I'll be using it to set it in properly. Once it is properly setting, Once I'm done, I'll be concealing her underneath and her eye, and I'll be priming the nose as well. I'll conceal the nose as well. I use a lighter shade of concealer underneath her eye and underneath her bow area, then the nose area as well. And I'll be using this LA primer to prime her nose, a darker shade of LA primer, and I'll be using it on the cheek as well to give us a bony cheek. That's why we are using it. I'll be using this red lipstick to give us the inner blush area, to give us the shade of blush, and I'll be blending all together with my sprayed beauty blender that I sprayed earlier. I'll blend the three together. I'll blend the three shade of concealer together. Once it is well blended, I'll be putting in some setting spray underneath her eye, and all the other parts that I use a lighter shade of concealer with earlier, I'll be putting in some setting spray, setting powder rather. I'm sorry about that. Once I'm done, I'll be using this powder palette to blend all together properly. I'm using a powder of a shade on the powder palette, and I'll be using this blush in the blushed area that we put a red lipstick earlier, and I'll be using this darker shade of eyeshadow primer shade to primer to contour her cheek area. Then I'll be using this glow blush in the nose area to give us the shady blush. Once I'm done with this part, I'll be going ahead with our nose area. So firstly, I use a dark shade of lipstick on that area, which I didn't show in the video. I think I mistake with the other part. I use a black lipstick, and I'll be using a brown pencil to blend the black lipstick together, and I'll be using some natural lipstick in between the lips area. Then I'll tell her to blend all together till I have the shade that I want. Then I'll be using this natural lipstick in the lipstick area as well, in the lips area as well. I'm using this brown pencil to blend the three colors together, and I'll be using I use my brush to blend it together, and I'll be using a lip gloss after. Then and once I'm done with this step, I will be using concealer to clear out the essence lipstick that I do not want in this area of the lips. I'll be using the brush to blend out where I do not want in the lips area, just to give it a nice shade. I'm using a matching color of foundations to blend it out, and I'll be using this melanin powder to blend all the makeup together. I'll be using this classic black eyeliner underneath her eye, and we are done with. I'll be using the setting spray, and we are done with the makeup. Thank you for